So for the audacious flow, what I first started was I just looked at all the words, 33 of them in a row, kind of got familiar with them. I knew a few of the definitions, but a lot of them I had to kind of like learn for myself the first time, or a lot of times like relearn. And then when I started writing, I just I always wanted to like start with at least one word in the first line to kind of like kick it all off. So I would just choose a word that seems to start well, and I figure out the rhyme scheme for that. And after that, it's kind of like once you knock out one word and two, you just look what you have left and see if it could fit in the next line. So I just kind of, after learning them, went systematically through until I could place them all in the song. So the reason I chose the stream of consciousness route is when I looked at all the words, I didn't see a set structure or concept that I wanted to do. So sometimes when writing, I'm like, I want to state this point, or I want to tell this story. But with this one and the beat that I chose, it seemed like I just wanted to have fun with it. So once one word was chosen, I saw a word work next, and I wanted to still have a basic theme. So, you know, once I started with like the whole vassals and played off castle, I wanted to play off like a physical area. But from that, I just played around with it, had fun with the words till I got what I wanted. So the reason I switched up flows was I wanted to kind of keep it dynamic, right? So I kept, for the most part in the beginning, a basic, solid, steady flow that the listener could follow real easily, right? So I kind of had my pocket, but sometimes you want to surprise the listener. So I knew that if I threw in like a double time flow at the end, it catch them off guard and kind of pull them back into the song, right? And then upon future listens, you kind of know what's coming, so you kind of wait for that, and it becomes just a little bit more fun when it's more dynamic. How I went about it is, the beat actually is kind of a slower one. So for slower beats, sometimes it actually is easy to do double time flow, because when you're not, you have to do your rap a little bit slower. So as soon as I heard the beat, I knew at the end I wanted to play a little bit with a double time flow because the BPM or the beats per minute was slow. So I just wanted to keep it fun, kept it dynamic by regular flow, double time flow, make it cool. The reason I said sharp minds create our livelihood is, for me and the people I try to stay around, and also what I'm trying to impart to the students, is keep your mind sharp, like stay fresh, read books, learn something new, have a new experience. And no matter what you do, whether, you know, doctor, athlete, physician, pharmacist, whatever, that all feeds into what you do. Like a lot of times we think it's a one-to-one direct thing, but if you just keep your mind sharp, it actually helps what you do career-wise, helps what you do school-wise, helps what you do in the community. So I just believe being well-rounded and continually doing things to keep yourself on your toes or learn something new just helps you around in life. So sharp minds create your livelihood. That's kind of what I meant. So I won't lie to you, I don't have like the largest vocabulary. It's decent, but I do continually try to like learn new words and implement them into my regular speech, just because I think communication is big, right? So the same way almost rappers have slang, or a lot of people have slang that they use, I think it's important to know that, because that's a way to communicate. In the same way, a lot of people use different words or larger, lesser used words, and I think it's important to know that too. That's a way to communicate. For me, I kind of like blend them all in together. I guess I place a high priority on communication, and so I want to know as many ways to communicate, and having a larger vocabulary allows me to encounter more conversations that way. Don't limit yourself, right? The same way when I saw these first 33 words, I immediately could have been like, nobody's really gonna use these regularly, or I would never use a regular rap that would include these words, but I looked at it as a challenge. You know, I may never use half those words again, but it was a challenge, and now I know I can do that challenge, as well as I picked up a few words that I thought were cool. Like, so don't be afraid of challenge, don't be afraid to like stretch yourself, learn something new.